Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. So in this tutorial, we will talking about how to use a WebSocket in your application. So let's get started. The first thing we need to do is create a new empty ES6 Node.js. So this is my GitHub profile and ES6 Express.js. And you can see it's a very basic and empty server. So I'm going to open my terminal and cd size. Alright, I'm going to create a new folder. Alright, just app. Okay, so cd just app. Now I'm open it on my touch. Okay, so we have chat app. I'm going to make a new folder. Alright, this c took c index.js, and also we took package JSON. Cool. So let's copy this package.json, or even you can use this npm init. Right, from just application, name of application package, right, version, alright, use web sockets get in no in application, right in there, right, my email. Okay, so it's cool. So let's open the package.json. Now you should see that. As I recommend copy from my package is the config for ES6. So we can let's copy script and ESLint config. So in part it renames our script. And one more time we need to copy dependency and depth dependency. Okay, so we should save that. And now we need to install all the packages. And by install, typing npm install. Okay, here we go. So after install all the module packages, you should see the module available in nodes underscore modules. Now, so in our file, index file, this is empty, and just copy. Get back to .c and copy. Very basic for our server. So it's very cool. So I can remove that. And cool. So we done that. Now let's from root of application you could try npm run dev. In run dev mode, and that means when we make change any code, and the server will automatically restart. Cool. So now the server is running on port 3000. So you can browse on your browser 3000. Right now it doesn't have any endpoint. So if you want to see something such as app.user, alright, some request, request response, and you can do this red.send hello world. Okay, so you should see server will automatically restart, and here we refresh the browser, you should see hello world. Or if you want to send a JSON format, you can simply JSON Alright, API. Again, version. The version you can take version from package by import. For example, import version from package.json. And so now you can see you want go ahead, put version. Now as you see, server will automatically restart, and now you hit save that. You should see version 1.0. Cool. So let's the next part is about WebSockets. So how we do use sockets, WebSockets. So if you want to learn about WebSockets, you can type in browser and Google search for WebSockets and visit. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to use micro WebSockets, and there are a lot of cool library for WebSocket, such as socket.io. This is very popular. But look at micro WebSocket is writing on native C++, and it had very cool performance. It's better than socket.io. So we are using Nodejs. So let's check about Nodejs branch and see documentation. Click Node on Nodejs. Cool. And here is we got some documentation. The first thing we need to do is install micro WebSockets package. So I'm going to open a new tab on my terminal by typing npm install save. Okay, so it's done. Wow, let's take some course in our, let's set up a WebSocket on server. So web server, okay, so we do this by WebSockets. So the first thing we need to import from micro WebSockets. Okay, let's verify this. And server. And so here we are going to set up new WebSockets and initialize by do this WebSocket. So in course WebSockets equal web.server. Sorry, I got it for. Okay, I'm back. So we're a server and we have app.server here. So app server here, and we can pass by parameter server, so app.server. Cool. So WebSocket server, and basically you can do this to make a source server, and here we don't need to use a WebSocket server anymore. Okay, so let's take cool. So WebSocket on connection, select. So we and WebSocket, or we can do by very basic and do app.websocket, and here we can do app WebSockets dot on connection. Connection will have a socket, WebSocket, and So simply we can do by we do log to console new client connected. Cool. Right, class track server new. Okay, so I push new here. Cool. So that means we are already set up the server. So how we connect a client from client to server via WebSocket. So in this video, I'm going to create a new Node.js file and let's cd to add rc. Now I'm going to create a new file client.js. So in client.js, so we need to follow a new document in our example and client. Cool. WebSocket. So import WebSocket from micro WebSocket and WebSocket.on open on error methods. I can do that. Right. So we can do course WebSocket. New is the URL of the socket server, and in this case, our WebSocket server will be on localhost port 3000, and go ahead rename that and rename HTTP. So if you are using add we can do WebSocket and duplicate as carrier. And in this case, I'm going not using add so very basic. So you can do cool. So on. So we connect to our server, and we have a new event when WebSocket.on open. Then that means the client and server is connected. Right. In open, so I'll get back to document, some document. Okay. Cool. So in this case, we make a log to console.log. Right, client. Right, successful connected to the server. Cool. Right. So now let me change to root or project, and you should see in our server result and the node matrix. And what happened if I change? So I can do this by cross WebSocket equal require micro WebSocket. So in this case, I want to run the directory from nodes. So we can do by nodes run client nodes src client.js. Now you should see a message successfully connect to the server. And so we have something crash. So you can see when the app crash, now it's automatically terminate. So console is not defined. So in our server, I made a wrong console. Cool. Server is restart, and now we saw client again. Node src client.js. Now you should see in client we should see a message successfully connected to the server, and on the server we should see a new client connected. Alright, that means we are client and server is connected. Cool. So how we do send a new message via WebSockets in from client to server? So it's very simple. So inside client, we can do this on open. Once client open, or you can do WebSocket.send. I think it should be send or message. Send new message. Cool. So the send message should be inside after the client and connect. So here we know send a new message from this client to server. Cool. So WebSocket.send hello server. My name is a client. Cool. So when we send to the server and on our server, we have to a new event to listen this by new. So get back to documentation of server. We have a WebSocket on connection and on message. Cool. So inside connection we now listen even new message from client. So wow, this is the WebSocket, or even we can do connection. So connection dot on message. Even this should look like this function message, right, like that. But in ES6 we are going to use the arrow function, so simply we can do that assist. Now here we log to the console by console.log. I got a new message from client. The message is message. Cool. So now you should see that our server is automatically runs restart and is running, but in our Node app it should be start again by node.rc client.js. We do this inside client. We see the message successful connected to the server. Alright, that means server and client successful connected. And here, after we see the connected, we send a new method to the server, and the server should log to our console with a new method hello server from client. And let's check out in server tab. Now you should see new client connected and got new message from client hello message is hello server is my name is client. Okay, so when we get a new message from client, so how do we send back to client? Okay, so this is very easy. So index file is a backend server. So when we now after getting after getting new message from client, we send back to client with new message. Right, simply we can do by connection dot send. Wow, send any whatever the message. You can send any message here by simply I can do hi client. Yes, nice to meet you. Cool. So just save that. And now the server is restart, and inside client we listen from server by simply you can do WebSocket.on Matis run Matis. So listen any Matis from the server. So when the server send a new Matis to client, so client should see the Matis with the Matis. Okay, so console.log. Right. Got back Matis. Got back Matis from the server with Matis E Matis. And so server restart, and now we need to restart client. Okay, so now you should see the successful connected to the server, and then client send a new method to server, and let's check out the server. New client connected and got new message from client and hello server, for my name is client, and then after user got a new message from let's say index. After the server it got a new message from client and send back to client, hi client, nice to meet you. And now in our client you should see a message from the server, hi client, nice to meet you. Okay, so what happened if I change this? So when server got a new message and we send back to connection.send message, send the same message from client. All right, and I think we can insert some new date. Okay, so new method should be appending new date. Cool. So after server got any message from client and send back to new client, and when server get any message from server and we send back to the server, we send the message. Cool. So what happened? Now you should see it. Now you should see the message loop forever. Now you start again. Successful. New client connect on Matis. Alright. Connection on Matis from client. Connection send Matis. Okay, so here I want to remove this. Remove datetime and I send Matis. Okay. So now restart client again. Set full new client connect. So what happened? It doesn't work on new Matis. Connection.send. Alright, so for example, the connection, the server will send hi client, how are you? And in our client, let's see. Now we need to start client again. Wow. I found problem. Problem is the server and the client is sending message, but we didn't log any message here, so we can do by log this console.log and so we know whatever. So got new message from Glenn. Oh, basically you can do Glenn say, alright, message, and we send back to server exactly message from Glenn say, and now you should see, and we are appending something by server. Okay, so inside client, so we console, we log to console to see server say, right, math exactly what math is server and say. Cool. So let's restart client. Now you should see server say, or client say, servers. All right. Cool. Math is console log server say. All right. Send. It should be plot. Okay. So server restart and client server restart. Ooh. Now you should see in loop forever. Okay. So I must stop it. Cool. And what happened about disconnect and connect? So let's remove this. Alright, new client connectors. Right, on disconnect, send message, and so in our server we can do by connection dot on cloud. And let's verify the document on connect and example. Alright, client. So I think it's not on cloud. So we console log console.log client disconnected. Same thing, and on. Okay, so we now just log on the server. Now you should see, and the server is automatically start, and we need to start client. Now we see successful connected from client to the server, and the new client connect. So what happens if I disconnect client by hit Control C on my computer and stop client? So in our server we should see client disconnected. Okay, so on cloud is even we know who is a disconnect and disconnect, and on connection is even when someone connect to the server. Okay, so here is a one way, a single way connect to server client and client to server, but in this case we are only managed to one client to the server. So what happens if mutual in many clients connect to the same server? So we can do it very simple. I'll show you how to do it. So we need to, alright, variables, a new, let's say less connection, or example let client an empty array. So right, so we do this by console.log new client connected. So when we found new client connect to the server, so we set him to adding him to client array. So we can do this by course new client equal should be an object with WebSocket and exactly connection. And so And here we can add some more field, for example, add ID, like socket ID or user ID, some kind of ABC, alright? But we need to general or user and unique user ID, for example, that. So in this case, so I'm going to make a test by user ID equal and client course user ID equal client dot length. Okay, so cool. So now in here we need to do by connection dot user ID equal, alright, user ID, and I think should be, and after we set this, cool. So now let's put this client to client. By very basically we can do by client dot put new client. So in this case, that means now the new client is inside clients array. So, and here we can do by connect, we can do new client connect with user ID equal user ID. Okay, so let's test this. Okay, so I need to restart client. Alright, successful connected to the server, and in server we see app is running and new client is connected with user ID. Alright, user ID equal 0. That means, alright, so basically you can do by +1. Okay, so and should save that, and server should be restart, and here we need to restart client as well. And now you should see new client connected with user ID equal 1. So in this case, now we can able to create some API endpoint to see how many people in the connection. So alright, I'm going to make a new test by to do this by alright, app.listen, app.get some kind of API. Alright, people. Okay, so can do connection. Into how many connection or any endpoint. For example, I do all people or all connection. I can do that with request, response, next. And so basically we can do by return red.json. Alright, by okay, so we can do by user all of the item in client. So let's put client to this PO per people by client. Cool. So here now this app should be restart, and we need to restart client. Okay, so here we have a user is a 1, and now you should see a static endpoint and API or connection. Alright, something happened. Okay, so I found a problem because we are use app.user list. So instead that we can do by simply app.get. Alright, rules up. Okay, so should be fine. So refresh the browser, you should see people, and because the server is now already 3 star, and so no more people inside our connection, so we need to restart client and so new client. So you should see new message, a new client connected with the user ID. So now we do refresh it. Now you should see a WebSocket with user ID. So this first user, the user ID is 1 and the WebSocket. And so we have a client. I'm going to make a new client. So in chat app, so we do by see client 1.js, client 2.js, client 2.js. So let me copy calls from client.js to client 2.js. Save that. So here we have it, client 2 and client 1 connect to the WebSocket with the same server address. So successful connect this client 2 to the server. Hello, and now we send hello server, my name is client 2, and in client, alright, I think we need to rename see client .js to client 1.js. This should be an, so here we have a client and now successful connected client 1 to the server, and hello server, my name is client 1. And so in our server we can do this by alright, new connect with the user ID, and when we found any message, connection.on message who's message, so we log to console.log message from message. Okay, and here we need to restart, and server is automatically restart, and client, so we need to client 1. So first we need to start client 1. That means we are going to connect client 1 to server, and now you should see successful connect client 1 to server, and also you should see 2 messages, new client connected to user ID and the message hello server from, and my name is client 1. And here in browser, now refresh, you should see search the people and just an array and just one people inside of connection and user ID. And so next thing I'm going to, so in tab, this tab is client 1, and in this tab we do note that I see client 2.js. Now the client 2 going to connect to the server, and I successful connect to the server, and the same the client B in connected to. So in the server you should see new more 2 methods, new client connected with user ID 2, and methods from the client hello server, my name is client 1. So in this mean we have 2 clients. That means 2 people are connecting to server. So if you refresh the API or connection, you should see I should show you 2 connections, and that's really cool. So in this case, that means you can see who is connected in the people in the connection, right, in real time. So all right, so we have in on server we have a on cloud. That means client is connected. Client is disconnected. So we have a user ID, and we can do it new client disconnected. But I can do much more clear, but I can do this client with ID. So we pass ID, new ID is user ID, and is a disconnected. So we know who is left the connection. So in this case, that means someone else disconnected. We need to remove them from our client. So how we do that? So we have a user ID, and here is an array of people with the user ID. So basically we can do this very easy. That is client equal client dot filter. We filter by client, and who with the user client dot user ID is not equal user ID, because this user ID now not in connection, so we need to remove term. Cool. Now okay, so the server should be restart and app.running pause. So to client 1 and client 2 is disconnected because the server already start. Once the server is automatically restart, client and disconnect. So let me, the first thing we need to reconnect client 1 to the server, and so now you should see inside of people we have only one. So that's the user ID is equal 1, and so let's connect the people 2 and that client 2 to the server. Okay, so he is connected. So it should be inside of array of list. So we have two people in arrays. So what happened if I hit command a control C on my computer, and that means I don't know what's a keyboard on the window, but on my Mac to stop a Nodejs, you can just simple hit Control C and to stop connect. Right, so we stop user 1 disconnected. And let's check out the log in our server. We should see client with user ID equal 1 is disconnected. Okay, so that means he left connection. Right, so what happens if we refresh the browser? Now the user ID 1 should not here refresh. So here we only want people in array, in our arrays of connection, and with the ID we set it to 2. Okay, so here we have only one people, that is a people 2, a client 2. Alright, connecting to the server, and now we disconnect him as well. Now hit Control C and disconnect. And now in the server we should see the message client with user ID with ID 2 is disconnected. Wow. So if I refresh this, now there's no more people in the connection. Cool, so it's empty array. There's no more people in connection. Alright, cool. So in this case, I'm going to show you one more thing, is how server can send to multiply method to all the client. So here we go. So I'm going to make a new function and send to all methods to the server. By I can do that by alright, so I'm going to set loop by set interval. The interval, the first parameter is the function, and the next parameter is the how many second, alright, a millisecond, and 3000 millisecond is that mean it equal 3 seconds. So, and that's mean now we can do, right, so you should see at 3 seconds this function will be executed. Cool. So in this case, we loop all through the client. So basically, you can do by client, right? If client does length, that means the array of clients is not empty. Or you can do by this slot is greater than 0. Right, so client dot for each should be client. So the first thing we need to do console.log client. Alright, so we do first thing we need to do console.log there client in the connection. So how many client in the connection? By the first simple by do ES6. Alright, so client dot length. So we can know how many client in the connection. Or we can do simply people. How many people are there? Many people or 0 people in the connection. Cool. So we can do client ID equal so client dot user ID, because when we add them into new connection we have a user ID, so we can get user ID user ID. Cool. So for now I don't send any method to client, just check 3 seconds and we check how many people in the connection and show up people ID. Okay, so now set interval. Okay, so here the server is automatically restart, and now you should see in 3 seconds, and currently no more people in the connection because client 1 and client 2 are disconnected. So let me connect client 1 to server, and you should see successfully connected client to server. So that means client 1 is in connect. Now you should see 3 seconds client we have there are 1 people in the connection. Also cool. So one again connect client to the server, and now you should see there are 3 people in there are 2 people in the connection, and client 1 and client 2. So cool. So for this is example, so how I send the message to all the connection to all the WebSocket client. But in real production you can use this function when you even something. For example, you can send a new message to all people in chat group. Right, so let's do this by how we do send by client dot, so it should be ws, right? So ws dot send, all right, server send to user ID and plot with client dot user ID, and here the message, or you can do by cos message equal, right, client dot user ID. You got a new message from server. hey ID, right? So here is our method, and very simple when you copy that. Cool. So the server restart, and so no more people in the connection. So that means no message sent. Okay, so one again connects the people one in the connection. So here you should see client ID 1 and inside of the server, right? But on client 1 we don't see any method because let's check out client 1 because we don't write any even when we got method, right? So now listen new method. So by WebSocket array on method, and should be the method parameter, and we use the arrow function, right? Console log method. Cool. And so inside server now I will remove console log this, remove this for, and also okay, so remove that, and the same thing on client 2, and we need to copy that, right? So cool. So now server is running and no people in the connection. The same thing, we need to connect the people one to the connection, and you should see there is one people in the connection. And so let's check in. Alright, in hey ID, it's a user ID 1, client 1, you got a new message at 3 seconds. And same thing for, we need to connect to client 2, and now you should see client 2, hey ID 2, you got a new message from server. So alright, there are 2 people in the connection, and the server will send and look at every connection and send him the first thing, send to 1, like hey ID 1, hey ID 2. Alright, so that is the how we do manage and many connection, multiply connection in the WebSocket. Okay, so cool. See you in the next video. I hope you can understand in this video. Bye for now.